Welcome back to our talk on changing your world. I'm John Patrick Hickey, and we have been talking about the impact that we can have on the world by the way that we live. And I want to talk to you about being that person of influence. You see, one of the things that we see around us is there are influential people. There are people who have the power to make changes within society. And it's a strange thing, and why believers do this, I don't know. But there are some who look at the world and we see people of influence. We see people of power, people with wealth, people with position, who are doing things that we know are wrong, that we know are corrupt, that we know are dishonest, and yet we feel that we have to surrender to them, that we have to just go along because we don't have the ability to resist or to turn away from them. That isn't so. You see, the world has always faced that struggle between right and wrong, good and evil. There are absolutes. No matter what anybody else tells you, you're always going to find there are absolutes in this world. There is good, there is evil. There is what is right, there is things that is wrong. There is truth and there is lies. And one of the big lies is the idea that there is truth and there is your truth. There is no such thing as your truth. There is just truth. Your truth doesn't matter, because what is true is true. And you can believe anything you want, but if it isn't true, if it isn't part of the truth, then it is a lie. No matter how much you believe it, no matter how good you may think that it is. Now, people of influence are not people who have that power that we think that they have. They are people who people listen to. And there are many people who have great wisdom, great abilities, great power, who are good, solid Christian people, who can be people of influence, who are people of influence. We just need to be able to listen and put them in that position. You see, when you go ahead and just surrender to people who do wrong, to the evil that is in the world, then you become part of that evil. Let me give you a couple of examples here, and forgive me for being a little harsh here, but this is reality. This is the way that it works. You know, during the German occupation of Europe, during World War II, there are a lot of great German people, good German people, Christian people, people who believed in Jesus, people who really wanted to serve God, but they believed that they needed to be loyal to their government, that they needed to support their leaders. So they supported Hitler, they served in the military, they did the things that they were supposed to do. And they felt like what was going on as far as the atrocity of the killing of 6 million Jews, along with many other people who were exterminated in the camps, was not their doing. That was something else. But they were just doing their part as a good citizen. The truth is, they were part of the killing because they were allowing that power to exist. Today, we have political parties in the United States. And I'm not here to talk a political message, and we'll talk about politics and Christianity in a little while, but you know, we have a party that supports abortion. Now, you may say, I'm pro-life. I believe that life begins at conception. I believe that, abortion is wrong. But you support the party. If you support the party, then you support the killing of millions of babies. It just happened. You cannot separate the actions. You have to come to grips with the fact that we have to make deep, hard choices and say, these are the things that are important. What is important? Is a tax deduction more important than the life of an unborn child? Is a person's personality more important than the work, than jobs that people have? What is it that we're looking at here? I mean, this is what it means to be a person of influence. You see, as a believer, we have a responsibility to look at our life as something that is, in fact, an influence on the world around us. That we have to look and say, okay, the choices that I'm making, what is the impact of those choices? What is this going to mean when I make that choice? What does it mean for my family? What does it mean for my neighborhood? What does it mean for my state? What does it mean for my country? What does it mean for the world? What does it mean to the church as a whole? What does it mean to all? You see, when you're looking at freedoms, freedoms are a very difficult thing. Freedoms are a very touchy thing. Because let's take religious freedom, for instance. When you look at religious freedom and you say, okay, there are religious groups that I may not like, that I think are destructive, that I think are hurtful. And so I think that they should not have the right to go and practice. They should be shut down. Well, if you shut down one, you can shut down another. They can shut down you. You see, you have to balance what freedom means. Either you have freedom or you don't have freedom. And you have to work all of these things in. We have been sold this bill of goods that all we have to do is kind of just float along and let other people make our decisions for us because they know better. They're smarter. They have all the details. They can do it. That's nonsense. It's a lie. You can make your own judgments. You are able to make your own decisions. Be that person of influence. You see, if you can work it all out and be that person of influence, then you can influence others to do the very same thing. And you will find that as a believer, that you can influence other believers to make proper decisions, to stand up for what is right, what is good, and to truly be that person of influence. You see, Christians are not meant to just hide in the church and keep your religion to yourself, keep your mouth shut, and just go and pray and do whatever it is that you're going to do. Because that is what they'll tell you that you're supposed to do. And that is not true. You're here to turn the world upside down. The church has always done that. Read the book of Acts. See what the first church did. And it wasn't an easy ride for them either. People paid with their lives in order to influence the world. And they did. Because they were able to truly turn the world upside down. It's time we influence the world and turn it upside down again. And that includes every area of our culture, every aspect of culture. And I want to touch on some very specific areas that I believe that Christians need to stand up and truly be an influence in. Not just in the church, but outside of the church, in our communities, in our culture, to truly make a difference. And on the next video, what we're going to talk about when we start off is the business world. For the Growth Center, this is John Patrick Hickey, and I want to encourage you to always live your purpose and please change your world.